Okay. The event is recording now, so I'm going to ask Sarah to take over and start her presentation. If you can unmute, and away we go. And thank you very much, Sarah.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. I will be with 30 minutes an hour to show you the in and out of Swapcard and how you can use it to make the most of your presence in these new times, brave times where we're moving from being on site to being online. And hopefully you'll have a better idea of how to set up your booth and also how to use Swapcard to maximize it. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with everyone. Okay, Eric, maybe you can give me a thumbs up if everyone can see my screen.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Wonderful. As Eric mentioned, today we're going to go over a few things in Swapcard. So I'm going to go over a few of the basics, but the primary focus is going to be on your exhibitor booth and how you can make the most out of it. And as Eric mentioned, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the message center, and then we'll get to them after the presentation is over. So here we go. So as you see on my screen right now, this is where you will land once you have set your password, once you've received the invitation from Swapcard. As you can see, we'll have the different areas of the platform, which is speakers, trade show, my event, and networking. Don't get too alarmed if things change a little bit between now and the event takes place. We're still building out a few of the different features. So as an exhibitor, as an attendee, you'll be able to network with other attendees at this event by clicking on networking. As you can see, you can choose from the names and also the matches and who's online currently. So right now we see that Michael is actually currently online. So we have done a great job with getting you started and getting set up. Now, I want to get your attention on your profile and how can you make some tweaks in case we didn't get everything 100% right. So to edit your profile, there's two ways. You can either click on the little edit button here on the home page where your profile picture will be, or you can go in the top up here and you can click on your profile from there. When you click on your profile, you'll come to this site. So this is where you can add some more information about you if you like. You can add your contact details, your social media, if you're present on social media, including LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter, and so forth. You also see if you are a member of an exhibitor booth, meaning if you have a company profile that's being profiled at the event. If you want to update your picture or add a picture, you click on Edit up here. As you can see, you can import a nice picture of yourself. You will note that any assets that we're uploading there will be a description telling you what the qualifications are. In this case, your profile picture needs to be 240 by 240 minimum and no larger than 1 megabyte. You can also update your first, last name, your job title, and if we missed your company, you're more than welcome to add your company right there. We also added a section called About Me. This section will be useful for finding like-minded people. As you can see, we have a couple different capabilities that you can add. So you can be able to, if you feel like construction is where you are suited, that you align with, you can choose construction. You can choose as many as you like from the drop-down here. And if you feel like none of these really resonate with you, you can always choose other. And as you can see, you can choose multiple. So that's a little bit on how you edit your individual profile. Now we're going to dive into your exhibitor profile. So as an exhibitor, you are a member of a company that is showcasing at the event. There's two ways to edit your company or access your company profile on Swapcard. You can either click on your company profile listed below your name down here. Or if you like, you can choose to go from your profile up here, the little arrow button up here, and click on Exhibitor Center. Both of those will take you to your exhibitor booth. So I'm going to click on this button right here. You might have noticed that it opens up in a new tab. And a good way to know that you're actually in the exhibitor center is up here. There is this team.swapcard.com instead of app.swapcard.com. This is a good indicator that you are on your way to edit your profile. This view that we're seeing right now is the back end that you as an exhibitor member has access to. The attendees will not see this view, only you will see this view. Think about it as your setting up your booth prior to an on-site. It's like a working site where you can make improvements, make tweaks, or just in general hang out to see which meeting requests are coming in. So a couple of things that I want to start with. So as you can see up here, we have a beautiful video. To add a video or a header image, what you need to do is click into the edit file here. As you can see, they've done a great job already with adding a header image. Once again, the dimensions are here. Or add a video. It's good to know that the video needs to be hosted on Vimeo or YouTube. And once you have done so, you will grab the video ID, not the entire link, the video ID that's part of your the little URL, which is a string of characters, and you can just plug it in here. Likewise, you can update your logo if you like. And once again, the dimensions are right here, so to help guide you on the best practices. The next thing I want to show you is the specialization categories that we have already set up for you, that we want to make sure that they are the correct ones. The specialization categories will help attendees find you and from the front end. So once again, similar to your personal profile, you can make changes to this by clicking on specialization and then choosing the area that applies to you. You can also choose multiple if you feel like more than one applies to you. Under information, it's a good spot for you to provide more information about your company. It could be your company description or anything really that you want to tell the attendees when they come to your site, come to your exhibitor booth. If you have social media presence, you are more than welcome to add this here. You might see that a good tip is you want to make sure you add the little string that is, as an example here. If this was the government of Saskatchewan, then you would add the SKGov here, and you would add it, instead of just adding the URL, you're just going to add that little string right there. And you will see when you make a change, there's automatically going to be a little check mark. Same thing goes for your contact details. We have mobile number, landline number, email, website, and address if you feel that you want to add that. So that's a little bit about the first step of building out your profile. So once we built out the profile, I want us to focus on your team members. So you're more than welcome to invite the team members that are going to be helping you manage the booth. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So as we see over here, we can see that we have the company profile, which is here where we have added the different things that the attendees will see, meaning the video or the header, the logo, the categories that you belong to, the information, and so forth. Over here in the left bar, you will notice that there is a little gear here called Your Team. This is where your team will be listed. In this case, we have quite a few team members. If you want to add someone else, what you do is you click on Add a Member. You enter that email. It's really important to know that if your team member is currently not registered for the event, you will not be able to add them, unfortunately. If that happens, please reach out to the event organizers and they can make sure that they've been added to the event, or they can provide you with appropriate steps to get them registered for the event. So that is how you add a team member. So once again, it's important to know that only those who have paid for a ticket will be uploaded to Swapcard, and you'll be able to add them to your booth as a team member. So once you've added your team members, you will see that you'll be able to see a couple of things. So I'm going to go back to the event now, and I'm going to show you a couple of cool things. Under trade show, you'll be able to see all the different companies that are exhibiting at the event. As an example, and you can search for them. So as an example, I'm going to choose Simsa. So when I go to Simsa's category, Simsa's profile, as you can see, you'll be able to see their profile picture that they have, their name. As an attendee, I can choose to bookmark it in case I want to get in touch with them at a later time. I can also choose to book a meeting with Simsa. So you would choose the appropriate slot that you want to have, that you want to meet with them, and then you would click virtual room. And then I always recommend introducing yourself and the reason for why you want to meet. Once you have sent the meeting request, you will see that your meeting request will be visible here as pending. The same thing goes for your networking. If you're trying to network with another person, you could find them here. In this case, I'm going to choose Carrie. Hope that's okay, Carrie. So I click on Carrie's profile, and as you can see, I can learn a little bit more about her first name, last name, her role, and her affiliation. There's two ways to connect with Carrie. One is to send her a connection request. Another way is to request a meeting with her. In this case, in this event, I'm going to send her a connection request. Once again, adding a message to your connection is optional. However, I do guarantee it. I mean, I recommend it, I apologize. And then you're going to send connection request. As you will see, this message board now had turned into talk to Carrie. So Carrie and I can go back and forth. And then once you choose to accept my connection request, the status will go from pending to accepted. So now let's head back to our booth and see if anyone has made any connection request or any meeting requests with our booth. There's a couple of ways where you can see if someone has made a meeting request with your booth, and I'm going to show you how to sign into one of your team members. In this case, as an exhibitor, you will have access to what's called a shared inbox. As an example, in this event, Tracy sent a message saying, "Hey, I would love to learn more about your company. Regards, Tracy." As you can see, I am now in the shared inbox and not my personal inbox. So I'm going to reply back to Tracy. It's good to know that when you are sending the message from a shared inbox, it actually doesn't come from you, it actually comes from the company. So Tracy now is going to get a separate message. So going back to the exhibitor booth. So from the home page, you'll be able to see that you can switch down to the event, and you will learn more about the exhibitor center itself and what the things you can do. As you can see, we've already touched on the company profile and how to edit the profile. Below company profile, there's another section called meetings. This is where when someone is requesting a meeting with your company, this is where this will be noted. And this is where you can manage that meeting request, meaning that if you want to accept it, or if you need to decline it, or if you want to assign it to one of your team members. In this case, Tracy made a meeting request to us. And as you can see, it's still pending. On top, you will be able to see when the meeting request was, when it was requested, for what time, and where. In this case, Tracy requested a meeting with us. So as you can see, the name of this would be where your exhibitor would be. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to either accept it or, oh, sorry, it's pending. So because Tracy is, so Tracy being the requester, she's a member, so it was not a great example. So you will be able to see here below there, like you'll be able to click on this profile and you'll be able to assign it to someone else. You'll also be able to, as you're getting more and more meetings, you'll be able to export them all by clicking on export. As you an individual are making more connection requests, you are able to share those connection requests among your team. In this case, we have one connection request with Carrie. And so as you are building a network during the conference, pre-conference and after the conference, you and your team member are able to collaborate and follow up with people after the conference is concluded. The best way to do it is clicking export all. This will download this file, hopefully with many, many contacts, into an Excel file, which will make it easy for you guys to manage. Okay, so that was a little bit about how to manage your Swapcard exhibitor booth. Eric, did we have any questions?
So yeah, so far in the Q&A on the chat, people, if you have a question, you can put it into the chat feature or raise your hand and I can unmute, you can recognize you and then you can speak. So one of the things in the chat we have right now is there's no option for me to add a team member. In fact, there seems to be two people with that same question in their setting things up.
Okay, well that would be might be a setting that we need to control on the as an event organizer. So I will definitely look into that and I will get back to you, and or Carrie and Tracy will get back to you.
Hi, Sarah, it's Carrie right now. Do we, just to clarify, it's only the person that is in charge of the trade show booth, that's signed up for the trade show booth, that is allowed to add team members, correct?
No, anyone can, any team member can add more team members.
Oh, okay, my mistake. Okay.
But the team member needs to already be registered with the event to have their email registered, correct?
Yes.
Correct. So they need to be in the Swapcard system, and from there on, we can add them.
Okay.
The team members can add them.
So Sarah, you pointed out that the video and photo aspect ratios and sizes and such come up as you go to post them, so that's really quite handy. Yeah, I got somebody else asking about not being able to add a team member. We'll have to check into the team member piece. I have a question here. Do the booths go live ahead of the event?
Yes, so as the attendees are being invited, the booths are currently already live, so you will be able to go in. Once you've logged in, you'll be able to see the different booths that are currently live. They're currently being created, unless they're being built out. And the different booths will be listed under trade show right here. So you will see that, as an example, Graham Industrial Services have already added some content here. They've added a video, they've added some information on their social media and contact information.
Another question here says, does the company profile show the pending meeting requests?
So that's between the attendee requesting the meeting and the company profile. No one else will see that information.
Okay. So just to confirm, then the attendees can access your booth between now and the show. That seems to be true? So as you're setting up your booth, is there a switch you can flip to say, hey, make it live now or something like that?
It's already live, so between now and the show, this is your time to go in and make some changes and make it look great. And then once, and Carrie, please remind me, once the attendees are in the system and they've been triggered invitation email, that's when they will come in and start viewing the different booths and hopefully make some and make their meeting request.
Tracy can comment on that as well.
Yes, it's Tracy here, and we definitely are going to make it live for people to set up meetings just prior to the event, but we don't want it done ahead of time. So we have some limitations on some of the settings for teams and for, I guess, for the attendees, because the platform is live to some degree, but we are not able to make it live in all aspects until we get very close to the event. We will check the settings though, just to make sure team members are able to add in their own team members, and they should have access to that if they are registered on Eventbrite, because Eventbrite is integrated with this platform.
Okay, folks, it's your chance to ask more questions and clarify things. You know, you can either raise your hand or ask it verbally, or maybe just unmute your microphone. There doesn't seem to be a lot of traffic, so feel free to unmute your microphone and ask your question, or type it in the chat section.
Booth will have their own. As you can see here in this case, we'll go back to Graham. You will see that they will have their own unique ID. What's important to know though, in order for an attendee or person to access this page, they would need to be logged in to Swapcard.
Okay. I have a question here. Can more than 2 people be in a chat?
So the meeting request that we're setting up will be between between 2 parties, meaning the exhibitor and the attendee, or between 2 attendees. Unfortunately, we're not able to do between 2 exhibitors and 1 attendee.
Okay. I see Larry Jorgensen has a question here. I think it's a very specific thing. Maybe we'll, Terry or Tracy, if you want to take a peek at this. He received a Hello Swapcard email to get started, and he went into it and started working on it. He's got a question about username and password and such like.
Okay, so it might be so, Larry. We'll look into it, but it must be that you were already, if you must have, since you probably registered through Eventbrite, and then when we imported your information through Eventbrite, and then you would have received an email from the event organizers asking you to get started. And so in the event you had, maybe have you used Swapcard before for another event, maybe, and you had your information saved?
Yeah, I probably in the last, I don't know, month prior to this, I probably signed up to go in and look at the Ag in Motion site.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Larry, that would explain why you already have, which is great, right? It means one less thing for you to do. So that is why you would have a password already set up.
Another question here: do the meetings happen on the Swapcard platform, or do you get a request and then book the meeting separately?
No, the meeting will happen inside the Swapcard platform. It would actually be, and I can actually show you right now an example of what it would look like. So in this event, and I hope that's okay, Carrie, that I'm using your profile. I hope you have to apologize in advance. So
all good.
When you have the meeting request with someone, it's going to prompt you. So there's two ways to meet the person. One is to request a meeting, which we saw before, and with Carrie that I requested to book a time with her, a time slot with her. So if that had been the case and Carrie had accepted it under my event, under my meetings.
Sarah, sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt, but we can't see your screen if you're sharing it.
Oh, it says I'm sharing. Let me reshare then. Okay. Eric, can you see my screen now? Carrie, can you see my screen?
Not quite yet.
No, it may be sharing the desktop rather than the app or something like that.
No,
Maybe
I'm
double
sharing,
check on that.
I'm sharing my desktop. Let me.
Oh, here comes something.
Oh, what? Third time is a charm.
Nope, not yet.
Technology. Okay, so I will just give it a second for it to load.
Yeah, I don't think it's loading, so we should maybe just go ahead, I guess.
And I will be happy to send you screenshots of this as well. So once, when you are sending a meeting request or when you are connected with a person, you always are able to send them, call them via video chat. It would work similar to if you have an Android or a FaceTime or WhatsApp or any or Facebook, where you can actually click on a button and it will activate, it will pull up a video screen that you can choose to participate via video call or just audio call. And you'll also be able to share content, share your desktop, share content, and move around as you are enjoying a session together or you want to explore the sites together, the platform together. So since the sharing doesn't seem to be working, is it working for anyone or just?
No, I'm not seeing it.
We
can go over this at the next information session, which we're going to be focusing on doing one-on-one meetings too, like what you're talking about.
Okay, we will do that then.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got another question here. There appears to be a file type limitation in adding videos to the documents area. Must a video then be embedded in a document, which is one of the accepted file types? So we need some guidance on the videos and files.
So you can upload a variety of attachment in a message, and there is, so you're asking if you can add, upload a .mov file, is that the question?
Hey, Derek, can you, it's Derek's question. Derek, can you provide a little bit more, context to your question?
Okay, hey there. So looking at well, first of all, really the only area that you can add a video is on the, the header banner of the home page. And so, okay, looking at the document section, the file extensions, the accepted file extensions are, PDF and, doc and PowerPoint, I guess, and some picture file extensions, but there's no video file extensions. Like if I want to add an MP4 or a .mov or something, it appears limited in that regard.
Yeah, so oh, sorry, Gary. Did I interrupt someone? Yeah, so there is a limitation in terms of you can't upload a MP4 or a .mov extension in a shared message. That's correct. Unfortunately, at this point.
Can you upload a link to it?
Yeah, you can absolutely upload a link. So you could host it somewhere else. Say that you would host it on any platform really, and you can share a link with the person via the chat message, or through the chat message. Or,
so, excuse me, it's Derek again. So just a like a YouTube link would work in this case, because it'd have to be a YouTube link that's inside one of those accepted file types.
you can just send a link to. So as an example here, I wish that the sharing would work for us right now. So you can send inside the message. So when you send a message to, say, in this case, I'm sending a message to Carrie right now when I'm sending her a link to Facebook or to YouTube. So you would just send it as a message more than uploading a file to a person. You can absolutely do so. It's just that we don't support uploading files that are MOV or MP4.
Derek,
Okay.
are you talking about it in a message or in your actual booth itself?
I'm talking in the booth, in the documents section of the booth.
Oh, I apologize. I thought that we referred. Okay, and I apologize, Derek. Yes. So in the exhibitor booth section, there are also a limitation to what kind of content you can upload. So you would have to upload a PDF or a white paper or like a Word document. That's correct.
So to upload a video in the document section of the booth, you would need to embed the link. Embed the link inside a PDF, for example, and then people could open up a video file for, say, have a PDF of videos or something. People could open up and click on the various links from inside the PDF.
Yeah, so what you would want to do is, so the first step to upload a document is to upload the actual document or the URL to the document. So if you have a document saved on SharePoint of some sort, you can add the document URL and then you give it a title and the overview, and that's how you create the document that people will be able to view and download.
Okay, so we have another question here. Is there a limit to the number of documents you can add to a company profile?
That's a question for the event team. I'm not sure if that is something that's been restricted. It's not a restriction on Swapcard side. That's typically a restriction that's being set by the event organizers. So Tracy, I don't know if you want to confirm if we are limiting the number of documents that they can upload. Or maybe Carrie?
Sorry, we don't have a restriction on the number of documents. I guess we can leave that up to each of the exhibitors, whatever they feel appropriate. And as I say, they may want to just add links out to special videos or documents, other types of corporate information that they have. So we don't need to put a limit on that.
Okay. So I have a second question here, or not second, another question. Do we get the full list of attendees at the end of this show?
Once again, that would be a question for Carrie and Tracy. So for the attendees that you connect with, you will have access to their information by downloading their contact information. In terms of getting information on the entire attendee, the attendee list, that would be a question for the event organizers. Tracy and Carrie, do you want?
We have. Sorry, it's Tracy here. We have provided a list of attendees, but that has to be vetted through all three partners. So I can't give you a definite answer as of yet. But in previous mining supply chain forums, we have sent out a delegate list to the attendees. I'm sure we will do so, but we will discuss in what type of format and when that will be sent out very close to the event.
Okay, are there any more questions out there, folks? If you have, can you type it in the chat or unmute your microphone and ask it that way? It might be easier sometimes if some of these questions get a little tricky when we don't know the exact terminology to use. Seems to be a lot of silence. Any other comments from Tracy or Carrie?
Nothing from me.
No.
Tracy, did the SMA have something they wanted to add? You sent me a note earlier about that.
Yeah. We just wanted to say thanks for attending the training session to everyone to see firsthand how to use the platform. We've been working on this site for quite some time with Swapcard and particularly with Sarah, and we really appreciate her guidance and expertise in this area. It's very user-friendly. It just takes some time getting used to. So we ask everyone to get it on there as soon as you can. Start working on your profile, taking a look at the platform, working through it. We haven't given you full access to the platform as of yet, but we will closer to the event, just because we're working on finalizing some of the details in there. But take a look. If there's any other questions, keep them for next time. We are going to have another session here very soon, as we said, and it'll be walking you through how to set up your meetings, how to do some networking as well. So please familiarize yourself with all the areas of the platform.
Well, thank you. Oh, the screen sharing seems to be working again. So anyway, so forum attendees, so please watch your emails for a release of the forum agenda, instructional videos on how to attend presentations, visit the trade show, and other attendees. As we mentioned earlier, we'll have another session with Sarah on how to fully use the Swapcard platform to join presentations and visit booths and set up meetings and networking, some of the detail we just touched on this one. So look for some more information on that soon. That concludes today's event. We'd like to once again thank Sarah Martin from Swapcard for today's event. And on behalf of the Saskatchewan Mining Association, the Saskatchewan Ministry of Trade and Export Development, and the Saskatchewan Industrial and Mining Suppliers Association, thank you for attending the 2020 virtual Saskatchewan Mining Supply Chain Forum and today's event. Thank you very much.
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you so much.